Ladies and dudes, I got a genius idea for our top 5 list that nobody has never done before. And this top 5 list is going to be a pretty darn interesting one. That's for sure. How about we do a top 5 list that featured our favorite moments that came from in the MCU films? Now that list is genius, that I might say. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobbob1987. This is my review for today. And today's review, well, no, I don't have a review for today. But for today's list, ladies and dudes, I'm gonna go ahead and do a brand new top 5 list that nobody has never done before. And this top 5 list is going to be a genius one, that I might say. One of the most greatest genius ideas ever in the top 5 list history. I'm going to do a brand new top 5 list that featured my favorite moments in the MCU films. And yes, ladies and dudes, I will admit this is going to be a very hard list to do. Over 9,000! I guess everybody wants to know is, what is my most favorite moments that I did enjoy the best from every single MCU film that I did see here and there from the last, I think 10 or 11 years ago for me. You know, when I got hooked on the MCU films. Just a couple I know here and there. And it's going to be hard for me to pick. But I think 5 will have to do for now. Yeah, just 5. 5 best moments that I truly love the best. And you know where it is. Well, you guys get the picture. So without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my top 5 of one of my most favorite moments of all time that came from in the Marvel Cinematic Universe films. And yes, I do have a couple of honorable mentions, like that very funny line that came from Thor 3, or rather call it Thor Ragnarok. You know that funny moment when he said, when he saw the Incredible Hulk again, he said, "Yeah! I know this guy! He's a friend from work!" I really love that line so much. Yeah, I really like that one so darn much. The other is all the Stan Lee cameo appearances. There's too many cameo appearances to be found. And yes, it's going to be a nice and short one. That's for sure. And also Ant-Man's relationship with his dear sweet little girl named Peanut from the Ant-Man saga. It's really cute where Ant-Man has a great relationship with his daughter and they had some good fun times together. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Those are my honorable mentions of so many moments that I love from the MCU films. And now let's go on to my top 5 favorites. Coming at number 5 goes to Doctor Strange's magic cape from Doctor Strange, the first one. I frickin' love Doctor Strange's magic cape so darn much. It became its own character of the movie. I mean, I love this character to death. It had a very funny personality, it has a very funny attitude, and it has a mind of its own. Yeah, it could do whatever it wants. My most favorite moment about that magic cape is where the magic cape is telling Doctor Strange that I got an idea how to take care of that villain who's trying to go after you. How about that weird prison thingy-majig so we could put him in bars? So yeah, Doctor Strange agreed with that magic cape thing, and he did throw that weird item on the villain, and he's trapped there. Yep, that magic cape is such a character. So that's the reason why I gotta put it at the number 5 spot. Coming at number 4 goes to Bruce and Betty's star-crossed lover story from The Incredible Hulk. I fell in love with The Incredible Hulk. It's one of my favorite Marvel's films of all time, and it still is, even to this day. And I don't know why people bash on that movie. I think this movie is so much better than some of the later on previous MCU films that we had for so many years. Well, just a few. The reason why I love Bruce and Betty's star-crossed lover story is it's a battle of survival. They're trying to survive their love away from General Ross. And they did all the way through until the near end of the movie. Yeah, and I really love Bruce and Betty's character development and chemistry with each other when they have to be together for just a couple of days or so. And yeah, and they have really good romance in the film too. And I also love the part where Betty took a risk of getting to know the Incredible Hulk. And since she began to know him for a short period of time, and she can handle the creature very, very well. And I do like a little bit of the Beauty and the Beast and the King Kong feel to it in the story. And yeah, it's a sad shame they have to, go their separate ways at the near end of the film. I wish I could say more about this moment, so I gotta put the star-crossed lover story at the number 4 spot. Coming at number 3 has to go to the airport scene from Captain America 3, The Civil War. Oh yeah, who doesn't remember the airport scene? It's a very fun and enjoyable fight scene to watch. But I will say the best part I love about the airport scene is truly Ant-Man and Spider-Man. I think those two characters had truly stolen this scene for me because of their funny and hilarious moments. There's so many funny moments that I can't stop laughing about. Yeah, I really love that scene so darn much. I wish I could say more about the airport scene. The battle between Team Captain America and Team Iron Man. It's a good guy fight type of thing. Well, if you've seen that scene from that film, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I decided to put that moment at number 3. And coming at number 2 goes to the main climax from the Avengers 4 Endgame. And it's great to see all of our favorite superheroes come together as a whole so they can take down I forgot that dude's name anyway, the main villain of the movie. They had to take down all those bad guys down to the count. And yes, this main climax of the film does have some very good moments that we will never forget in movie history. Like where all the female fighters are gonna join forces to take down that bad guy down to the count. Try to take care of that weird metal thingy-majig that has all the stones in it. I do love Peter and Tony's reunion, like a father and son relationship. And yeah, you can see a couple of superheroes talking to each other while there's a big giant battle going on. And also Tony Stark's sacrifice, where he began to snap his fingers for one time and one time only, and he says, "I am Iron Man." Yeah, that famous line that came from in the very first film. So yeah, I love that epic climax so darn much in a good The Avengers film. And I gotta put it at the number 2 spot. And finally, the number 1 of my favorite MCU moment of all time, and this is something I truly love the best, that came from Spider-Man No Way Home. And only one good villain, who is the best one in the whole entire movie, who did get fleshed out, very well developed, and his storyline is truly fish out of water. You know which character I'm talking about. So for number 1 goes to Dr. Octopus and his fish out of water storyline from Spider-Man No Way Home. This is my favorite MCU moment of all time in movie history. And those people did a really good job of giving my favorite character one of the best storylines ever in MCU history. We got a really cool Spider-Man villain who learns about the world that he had never discovered before. And he just learned this MCU world for only 2 days and 2 days only. And I guess you want to know what the heck did Dr. Octopus did learn from the MCU world that he had never discovered before for only 2 days. Well, he learns about what Peter Parker can do with his new Spider-Man armor, and he began to learn that he fell for his trap. You know, for what had happened to his metal arms. You know, he can't control his metal arms at all. They have a mind of their own. And also, he understands what prison is like because he did a lot of bad things here and there, and he just stayed there and tried to be a good dude for once. And also getting introduced to Doctor Strange and get to know what type of abilities he can do. You know, try to do magic for birthday parties. And also, he's being very nice to Aunt May, the MCU Aunt May, and since he and Aunt May are in the rightful age, I would love to see them as a cute couple. And some others. It's hard for me to say about this amazing character that I grew to love with, who's starting to become a fish out of water, where he discovered a brand new world that he had never seen before in his whole entire life. So Dr. Octopus's fish out of water story deserves to be my number 1 most favorite MCU moment of all time that came from in all the previous films from the MCU movies. Well, if you know what I mean. So those were my top 5 most favorite scenes of all time, my favorite moments that came from in an MCU films. And tell me, ladies and dudes, what is your most favorite MCU moments of all time that came from one of your favorite MCU films? Well, whichever they are, just leave a comment there and let me know. And I need to ask you guys a question. And I know it's going to be kind of awkward to you. Would you guys like me to do my top 5 most least favorite moments that came from an MCU film? Something that I really don't like. Something that's not my cup of tea at all. Well, Don't forget to leave a comment there, let me know. And I'll be back very soon for more videos to come, if you know what I mean. So, I'll see you guys later, and sayonara.